Senator is one of our champions of agriculture, and in fact, we've had the opportunity. I'm very proudly just hold up a plaque we were able to give to him today that shows that he's been voting and representing agriculture's interests for 8 consecutive Congresses up there, and I can't thank him enough for what he does and the way he represents us there. But in terms of your question as it relates to why we're here today, many of you know we have a Farm Bill safety net that not only provides for our producers throughout the state and provide for rural Louisiana in a lot of different dynamics, because our food nutrition program is in there, funded in that as well. That was created in 2018 and has been extended a few times to where it is today. But unfortunately, September 30th, that has ceased, no more extension, and has expired. So we're sitting with our rural America with no safety net, and maybe a lack of issues as it relates to food availability in some of the food pantries we have in rural Louisiana, because this program addresses all those different activities. So a farm bill is something that we need. He's been a real champion, he and some of his counterparts. Unfortunately, on the other side of the aisle, there's some challenges and differences of opinion, but we're working through that, and that is something we need to bring to the table, and we're here today to discuss different options and ways we can do that.
Now, one of the folks in there said, wait a second, people don't think, anyone who eats 3 meals a day, wears clothes, and has a roof over their head should be aware of the importance of the Farm Bill. These farmers, these loggers, these crawfishermen, you name it, they stay in business with that support system. They don't always need it, but when they need it, if they don't get it, they go out of business. So that's the importance of the Farm Bill. It's gotten totally tied up in politics. And I'm not sure if it's going to pass this year. It may kick into next year, which for these folks creates uncertainty. They need certainty. I would like to help get them certainty.
So we just talked about a farm bill that was created in 2018 that has expired. Well, in 2018, it used the safety net data, if you will, of 2012. We're 2024. You know, a gallon of milk in 2012 or your vehicle in 2012 to what it is today in 2024, substantially different. Well, our cost of production in agriculture is the same. We have a substantial difference, and so at the end of the day, the Farm Bill hasn't been effective in taking account for inflation and production costs. So what we're proposing to do in the House version has some language in there that addresses some of the inflationary factors that we're being faced with. But the challenge is, without a Farm Bill safety net, our producers in Louisiana cannot get a crop in for 2025. You know, different areas of different percentages. I'm not going to go into those, but I'm going to say a significant portion of our producers in Louisiana, without a Farm Bill or safety net, will not get a crop loan. Going back to your question, the supplemental, there's a Farm Act that is being created that is trying to alleviate some of the differences that will allow the Congress to look at maybe finding a one-time supplemental to kind of true up some of those differences so these producers can step into their banker's office and get a production loan for the coming year and get a crop and keep the economic engine of rural America and rural Louisiana going.
Yeah, so, and I think the take-home point on that, as I gather, is that right now, if you're going to plant a crop in the fall, then the bank wants to know, wait a second, if the locusts come, if it's a drought, if it's a terrible season, will they get their loan back? And the crop insurance is the guarantee to the lender that they can do that safely. If you don't have that, they will not lend, and the farmer doesn't have the money to plant. Going back to certainty, they need certainty. They're quite willing to take the risk. They're risking all the time. They just need the certainty.
Us as producers, we look at rainfall every week. The forecast we look at day in and day out as we plan our schedules. But we need that annual rainfall to accumulate. It's never at the right time, and it's always a little too much when we do get it. But at the end of the day, we are in a situation with our state. We are in a diminishing amount of water available to grow our various crops. Some crops more affected than others, but the drought monitor is one of the indicators and tools that we have partnered with the LSU Ag Center, Mr. Jay Grimes, and a lot of other folks that have partnered in trying to look at different ways to make sure Louisiana is accounted for equitably and accurately. And historically, we've had a little discrepancy in that, but we're trying to do some really really creative ideas on way to engage different folks, different agencies. We might even be coming to you, Senator, to try to figure out how can we maybe pass a piece of legislation to make sure that Louisiana is accounted for in our drought situations. As you look to a drought map, you see a lot of maps in different colors at different areas at different times of the year. We have to make sure that's accurate, and we're going to work to try to resolve that. I visited with some Department of Agriculture and Forestry folks today, looking at ways to do that and finding the vehicles, and we're going to be reaching out to the Senator to help us get those done.
I'm surprised Richard didn't bring this up. Anyone that saw the price of crawfish this past crawfish season knew the impact of a drought. And my understanding is that drought was so severe, so long, that it ended up killing some of the crawfish who normally would have burrowed in and come out. And so that hurt the crop. They actually have lingering effects of that, which we're attempting to address. And again, it's about providing certainty. If you're going to do a crop like crawfish year in, year out, every now and then the bottom falls out. And so how do you just kind of keep that bottom from falling out so that they can come back up to their normal profitability? It's about providing certainty to the people that feed us 3 times a day, give us the fabric for our clothing, and give us the roof over their heads. That's our goal. The House of Representatives has passed out a bill, which I gather was bipartisan. On the Senate side, it's kind of stuck. The amount of money that has been put towards this farm bill has been shared with food stamps. Under the Biden-Harris administration, the people eligible for food stamps has grown, so that now 82% of the farm bill is actually going for food stamps. Now, the farmers are saying, wait a second, what's left is not adequate for our crop support, for our research station, like the Sugarcane Research Center just south of Baton Rouge, down in Carville. All the things that you normally need are not being adequately funded because so much of the budget has been taken up by food stamps. The Senate Democrats who are promoting this, they want that money for food stamps, and they're willing to not let the farmers have as much. That's where it's stuck. Now, it may kick over till the next year. If Republicans have more leverage next year, frankly, we'd probably like that because we think we can get more of that money going to farmers where they need it. So that's the political struggle. And after next Tuesday, we'll have a little bit more insight into the path forward.